Mr. Churchill.
Mr. Marcel,
Yes.
you are live on United View. What are your thoughts on the breaking news?
Oh my days, my heart just fills with joy right now, bro. I can't. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm grinning from teeth to teeth. I'm eating right now. I don't know what to say. What do you want, like?
Well, I just want your honest thoughts. I mean, because look, we saw it in the weeks after the FA Cup final. You were a bit downtrodden, to be honest with you. You were like, I still think that they're going to let him go. I hope that's not the case, but I'm worried about it. Are you pleasantly surprised? Is that what we're dealing with?
Owen, I sit. And most of the time, I sit in a room and I meditate on my own thoughts. I don't let other voices come in, but this is what the world has brought to me. The people on the outside will come and give you opinions. They will fight you on your own convictions. It's just how it works in this world. They will fight you on it, and then you absorb some of their energy, and then you regurgitate a new opinion, and then you stop believing in your premise of what you think, and then all of a sudden you're worried about little things. Normally, I have the strongest of convictions, and I believe in what the direction of travel that we're going in. And I'm telling you right now, the direction of travel, when I hear this great news about the way our club is trying to think, it only means trophies. It only points towards trophies and being at the top of world football. They've now given him a better structure, Owen. They've got Barada here, who wants to change things every 2 years. They've got Dan Ashworth, who is going to be the data man and get the talent ID issue that Ten Hag has away. They've got Wilcox, and they've got McLaren. They're going to get a new coach in and around it from Benny McCarthy, because I feel like that situation with Sancho there, he kind of was in the middle and in the interview was pointing towards the Benny McCarthy side. But they're putting pieces around the manager. They're following their rhetoric, Owen. That's what Sir Jim came and told me that he was going to do. And a good man and a gentleman follows with his word. So I can only see things going in the right direction of travel. It's going to be profound next season. And by the way, I would have to put the disclaimer in now. Of course, we're fighting for fourth and third place. You're not going to have the wonderful consistency that a first and second place football team has. No. Ten Hag's already told you this, Owen.
Yeah.
So we have to be honest and say there will be down periods in a 38-game season when we don't have the squad capable of a City and an Arsenal level. So humble ourselves at the same time. But we are going in the right direction. This is the direction that you want to be going in. God is the greatest. We're doing the right things. So the cycle's now broken. It used to be 2 years suffer, two and a bit years suffer. This season, he's going to earn his 2-year contract. This season, he's going to earn his 3-year contract. Whichever one, up to their discretion. Whatever, give him whatever he wants.
Are you excited by that part of it? Not only obviously the part that he's staying, but now the talks about, discussions have actually begun over a new contract, and actually that new contract might actually look at a restructuring of his role, so he's no longer the manager, he's the head coach, recruitment's taken away from him. Is that's, if anything, that's bigger than him just staying. That's planning to the future, is it not?
Oh, come on. What did I say? I was telling people, Ineos will be here for 50 years. It's like everyone needs to go back and just
50?
Watch all the videos of me talking.
You say 50?
Look, yes, but Owen, I was saying
How old?
that.
He's in his 50s, isn't he?
No, but Owen, if you go back and watch what I've been saying for God knows how long, I'm putting that thought process into everyone's mind to say, Ineos have to prove something to us. They're going to be here longer than Ten Hag. So they have to think longer term. They're taking away his powers, and then the next time manager that comes in, they know the pattern already now. Okay, you're not going to have a certain amount of powers. You're here to work and coach the team. But in this dynasty that we're building with Ten Hag, he had an issue with he wasn't perfect. Van Gaal, who's gone through the process of Manchester United, the marketing version of Manchester United, not the one that's transforming into a footballing Manchester United. He just told us. He had a Barcelona top one talking about, okay, he's not perfect, but he's a great manager. He's a good manager. And he has to do things. He's been up and down, but he's a good manager. And that's what you have to support now. A good manager. Ole showed us things. Mourinho showed us things. They all showed us signs that the structure is what we have had decent managers. They just needed a proper support system. Real Madrid run under these predicaments where there's somebody else that's purchasing footballers for this manager. And my, Ten Hag, the talent ID wasn't talent IDing. And I'm very, very happy that gets taken away. By the way, those people that were saying he can't work under this, he can't work under that, you look into what the manager says too much. Well, look at you now. Huh?
Yeah.
I was telling you the manager said that he can work under X, Y, Z. I was telling you that the manager said that he's very understood. By doing it by himself, he's confident and powerful. And by doing it with working in tandem, he's powerful and confident. This is a very good manager. His issue is, Owen, his articulation. He needs to get better at mastering the English language. But that will come the longer he stays within our club and builds the confidence in front of the media. And it's coming. You're seeing it. You're seeing him turn into a monster. You're seeing him fight back against the media.
Yeah.
So it's part of the process. That, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a process. It's not about progress. Process is patience and process.
Yeah.
And process. And within that, there's other things. So extremely happy that there's a new contract potentially on the table. And Sir Jim Radcliffe knows that it's going to take a couple more seasons anyway until we're competing for Champions Leagues and Premier League titles. But Ten Hag will deliver that. I promise you now, he will deliver us a Champions League. He will deliver us a Premier League title. It's just a matter of time now, and process. And that comes with outgoings. The most profound thing this next 6 weeks is outgoings. We must sell footballers. They're on astronomical wages. They're not good enough to play at this level. We've seen it year after year after year. So we must get rid of footballers and bring better ones in, or ones that at least have the upscale potential. Upregulating, the words that I'm using that people are laughing at me at, these are real words. Look at them.
I was waiting for the upregulate or whatever. I mean, you mentioned though about the people above him. I think you mentioned one of his big problems was articulation. I think one of his big problems was stubbornness. But do you think with having those people above him, like a Jason Wilcox, like a Dan Ashworth, like an Omar Barada, because they're going to dictate to him how they want Manchester United to play, do you think that will actually work in his favour a little bit? So when he is being stubborn, like he was last season when things weren't working, do you think that actually forces him to be a bit more adaptable, a bit more like, okay, like you're telling me that what I'm doing at the moment isn't working, so I've got to change it? Is that also a positive? Does that kind of overcome his stubbornness?
Perfectly said, Mr. Churchill. God is the greatest, With shout out to We Talk Ajax. Shout out to We Talk Ajax. We spoke to them and they educated us on that before it's happened. So we understood. We was, the United View community had a key before we could even open that door. We had a key for it. So we understood that was going to be one of his weaknesses. And by the way, Wilcox comes in, someone that knows he's experienced 38 games of football in the Premier League and lifted a trophy. That's who's advising him. That's who's going to have some sort of word on what's happening in and out of the football club. Barada, we've seen the interview of him saying every 2 years he's looking at the footballers and saying who's not good enough, we're selling. Dan Ashworth, who's a data man, he's going to be looking at certain things and metrics to get new footballers in that have potential. These are all good things. And Ten Hag, by the way, I will repeat it. He said he wants to work with these people. So that's his job then. He said that once, he said it at one point, he's going to be on the phone to Wilcox every single day. This is the kind of manager that you want managing your football club.
And it was the key thing. The key thing was not necessarily him working with them. It was more like, was Ineos prepared to work with him? Wasn't it? That was the part of it. And my concern was him. Did Ineos view him as like an Ineos guy, an Ineos hire? And if Ineos have now publicly given him the back and say you're staying, and then publicly give him a new contract, that's as much backing as you're going to get as a manager, isn't it? And not only you're staying, but also you're going to get a new deal.
Yeah, and now our demand, we're allowed to expect more trophies from Ten Hag. Flex mentioned it before, and we've been speaking about it before in terms of Ten Hag always likes to play a stronger side. That was a habit that we've seen from him over the last 2 years. So we're expecting him to go into competitions and play as strong as possible. But he's now going to have people in his ear saying, maybe rotate here, please. Try and keep footballers fresh here, please. And that's going to help him, in his armory, being able to sort out the best squad for us, over 40 football matches for the club. But, we have to still demand trophies from him next season. In terms of 38 games and how he manages a 38-game season, we have to see how robust our footballers are throughout this season, because we had very fragile players last season. But, we need to get those outgoings immediately, so we can free up the spaces within the squad and get more robust footballers in for him. That's maybe the outlook of it right now. But like you say, he just needs the right kind of backing. and that means, you know, outgoings as well as ingoings for me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Marcel, I thought I'd jump straight to you. You know, you've been on a journey, my friend. It's been it's been a long season, but you've got to where we're definitely where you wanted to go. You said trust the process. You're still believing in the process, and just finally, what's your early prediction now? Now that the Ten Hag situation is sorted, if I'm talking to you in a year's time, what do you think we're talking about when it comes to the Premier League?
Oh, that's sick. Oh, I love that. Okay, top 4. We're going to be competing for it. I would really like 3rd position, but it's going to be a massive fight, and it depends on what work we do in the transfer window. So right now, without seeing the work that is due to be done, because Ten Hag's going to go straight into work. I've just seen him have a lovely dinner with his queen, and now after that's finished, he's going straight into character to do his work. That's the kind of man he is. So once he gets back to that office, you know, he needs to start liaising with them about transfers, and that's what I'm sure will be done. But without that, with just guessing my mind's eye now, top 4 needs to be secured. That has to be a priority. Yeah. And one more trophy. You know, we look like the best team in the Europa League, so I would like to expect that of him. And then another domestic trophy. So I'm expecting trophies next season, and a top 4. He needs to get back into Champions League. That's such a priority for us. So Champions League and a trophy, man.
Champions League and a trophy. Big up Marcel. Go follow him on Twitter. I'm sure he's going to be very active this evening. He's going to be very, very active. Big up, man. Speak to you in a bit.
Appreciate you, man.